everybody. I'm Tom Rothman, and on behalf of Tony Vinciquerra, here to welcome you all tonight. It's a special night. We get to honor and celebrate a legend, John Singleton. Now, I wasn't lucky enough to work with John directly, but like pretty much everybody else in our industry during this era, I knew him and felt his powerful presence. John's impact on Hollywood was palpable and transformative. With Boys in the Hood, he dramatized the realities of a disenfranchised and underrepresented world. He shook up both the industry and the national conversation. He launched remarkable careers, introducing the world to a myriad of phenomenal talent, including his own. I was at Fox at the time, and even for us as a rival studio, Boys demonstrated what great things can happen when the studio invests in originality, new, distinctive, and diverse voices. I was, and remain still, inspired by John's fearlessness and pioneering vision. Boys in the Hood is a great reflection of the spirit and the legacy of Columbia Pictures. Tony and I are just current custodians in a long, proud line of people lucky enough to work at and for Columbia. I see Amy is here, Doug is here, and many others of us. John's talent and ambition and vision demanded inclusion in that line. And I want to especially recognize and thank Stephanie Elaine, who introduced John to the studio and shepherded his work here. And I want to mention Frank Price, who was chairman at the time. I stand here, as do all of us working at the studio today, a beneficiary of that history, and we are all very grateful for it. So that's the backstage theater up there, and for decades, this has been our filmmakers and employees' primary screening space. In many ways, it's the heartbeat of the studio. You'll always see people coming and going, things happening there night and day in and day out. It dates from the Great Depression, and it's where Irving Thalberg himself, whose office was right up there, watched dailies, I'm sure to the delight of many of his filmmakers. But the energy and the legacy of this space offers a constant reminder to maintain the spirit that drove John and led to his lasting impact on the movie business. Its new name is, above all things else, I believe, fitting, and we hope inspiring. So I am very proud to say, on behalf of all of us at Columbia Pictures, this year and the years before, we stand now in front of the John Singleton Theater. And now I'd like to invite Maasai, Justice, and Selenesol up to the mic, please.
Very simply, I want to say, okay, I'm too short for this mic. I want to say thank you. As a child, there were many times when my father couldn't afford to go to the theater, and he was proud to take us to those places and see his films advertised on their marquees. I know he'd be proud today to see his name as a prominent fixture on this theater, reminding filmmakers of both this studio's history and of their potential within it.
What a gift it is to be here right now and in front of this theater, my father's name on it. Still so mind-blowing to me. It's such a proud feeling. I'm so grateful. And I just want to say thank you for giving this gift to, my father, but me, because this is my family. This is what I represent. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hi guys. Hey, I'm supposed to be brief, and I don't know how to do that because, like Devon, I think I'm a preacher, you know. So, I'm not going to lead us into prayer or anything, but I'm just going to say that some of the most profound movies depicted in the past only included black and white and people who weren't of color, and the marquees usually featured Cary Grant or Marlon Brando, people who didn't look like my father. And I think it's really profound that as I got to sort of admire these movies with my father, I get to kind of look past those movies and look at my father, who is exactly like those great icons and men who set the pace for him, because he always wrote about being like Scorsese or being like Steven, and it's be like John, and that's the way it should be for all artists of color and young people. So to be here where he discovered his friends, families, best friends, both on the set and off, is a real honor, because you guys are my family for life. Thank you. Thank you guys. I just real quick. Thank you, Sony, the whole entire studio as a whole, for being there for black filmmakers. In the 90s, it was imminent to do something like that. If you didn't do it, I don't know who would have. The fact that Spike Lee's movies was shown here before and now it's John, it made me realize Sony has done a lot. And thank you.
All right, gang. Well, there's some food and treats down here, so we can enjoy that for a little while, and then I guess at 7:15 we will go in, and there's a wonderful tribute reel, which I'm very excited for you guys to see. It's lovely and profound, and then you watch a hell of a film, Poison Oak.
I want to thank Sony Pictures for this lovely gesture, and for including my father's family and friends. There were two things that were paramount in my father's life. They were his work and his family, and he found particular joy when he could share his work with his family. My father told me, the most valuable thing we have is our ideas, and this is a film that he visualized to the point of injecting his soul into it. The main character and his dad both hold aspects of the boy John Singleton was and the father he later became. So it's very fitting for Sony to remember him by this film, which captures part of his spirit. A film so private and concerned with family, yet executed with auteur craftsmanship under the studio system. It displays the two things most important to my father. And so I'm happy that we have it, along with his filmography and our private memories, to remember him by. Thank you, Sony, and our family and friends for coming together to share him.